So how fun is F1 2023? The best way that I find to judge whether or not the game is any good is by driving laps of Monaco. And in the past games, since F1 2013, it's been not a joy to drive around this circuit. More often than not, it's been very, very frustrating to just drive around even in time trial. And you'll have to excuse my rusty driving because it's been a while since I've actually put any time into a Formula 1 game. You actually feel connected to the car. You know, the driving makes sense, it feels very aggressive, very stiff, but controllable. While the traction zones are difficult, they're understandable. You know, I understand where I'm going wrong, I'm understanding how I can drive differently to get a bit more traction. You know, and every lap that I do gets better. You wouldn't think about it looking at the delta, but I'm talking. So yeah, the downforce feels really good in this game. It makes a lot of sense. The more you drive fast, the more the car feels planted and almost aggressive. And in the slow speed corners, you've got to be careful, but it's not like on F1 22 where you had to really just tiptoe around. Here you can afford to be a bit more aggressive, not stupidly aggressive, but still aggressive to the point where it's fun. And that's the main point, is that it's fun. It's very, very easy to catch the oversteer, and, you know, you will lose time, but at the same time you get the impression that you're driving on the limit all the time, and that is the impression that you want to have from a Formula 1 game. It's what's been missing for years, and I am very, very optimistic. For example there, that would have been a spin on F1 22, guaranteed. But I'm very, very impressed with the depth of the handling model, but also its ease of use for a casual driver, let's say. Let's change to a different high-speed circuit. Spain is one of those tracks where you really, really feel the difference of this game. Just pushing aggressively on this track, you feel the downforce. It's so rewarding to just go absolutely flat out around here. I've only done a couple of laps, but I'm absolutely loving it. And I guess the difference is I'm used to games where aerodynamic downforce really doesn't play as a factor that much, and I looked to the Formula 1 games in the past to like really give me that experience of, you know, high downforce driving, rewarding and all of that. And it's only as I make a dreadful mistake into that corner, but, you know, it gives me the impression that I can make mistakes in this car and still get away with it and still have a fun experience. It's a game that doesn't punish you for not being perfect. Force feedback is markedly improved as well. You can really feel the downforce. The wheel goes very heavy, whereas in Formula 1 22 it was always a bit light, and you got the impression that the rear was floating a little bit, and I'd often spin out in corners where I thought I had way more than enough grip. And another thing also is the braking. The braking is so different. The braking is a lot more difficult, I'd say, on this game, but also a lot more intuitive. You know, you can actually use the braking to rotate the car a lot more, even if you're not that great at trail braking, as I lock up and go wide into the corner. But the lockups aren't frustrating, you know, you can recover. The fact that you can lock the rear makes the car feel a lot more dynamic. And I guess that's a word that I could use for everything in this game. It feels a lot more dynamic compared to the previous installments, and I feel a lot more in contact with the car. I feel like I'm driving the car, as opposed to like being on a roller coaster out of control most of the time, just praying to survive another lap. You know, I'm so used to the handling of like a Mark II Esport on gravel and stuff like that I forget what it feels like to drive at some high downforce stuff with high grip. And although I've got a lot to learn, clearly I'm very, very rusty, the game gives me that same sort of sensation of rear-wheel driving and just being on the limit of adhesion all the time, and it really is exhilarating. I have as much fun driving this as I do a Mark II Esport and any other rally car, really. You can really have a bit of fun through the corners. It's not the fastest, obviously, but you can really just get those slides going through the corners and, you know, have maybe a drifting competition or something like that. But yeah, anyway, it's very, very enjoyable. This game really encourages you to experiment with your driving style, with your technique and all that. You know, on Formula 1 22, I'd be petrified every single corner of getting oversteer. Now I want the oversteer because it means I'm pushing hard enough. Now I'm actively looking to get the throttle down sooner because I know that I've got a chance of catching the oversteer. Will I be playing this game a lot more? You bet I will. I'm having a lot of fun here. Not sure if you can tell by my voice, but it is very, very, very interesting to play a Formula 1 game that I genuinely enjoy. This is looking good. So yes, stay tuned for more content and enjoy more mediocre laps, I guess, from me in the future. Thanks for watching and bye-bye.